When he awakened, origin energy was exhausted. This represented the end of the awakening. When Sebastian left the awakened space, he saw that most of the student awakening ceremony was over. Some were cheering and jumping. They were very excited. Some were filled with frustration, and they even wept bitterly. There were also complicated expressions. He did not know if they were happy or sad. All life, the success rate of planet awakening was not 100%. Plus, some planets that had successfully awakened were too small, so there was almost no development potential. Therefore, only a few people were satisfied with the results. Extraordinary energy is divided into 4 levels: low, middle, high, and super. For low-level energy, there are true chi, spirit, perception, telekinesis, and so on. For middle energy, there are vitality, combat aura, soul energy, etc. For high energy, there are origin energy, dragon chi, magic power, star power, psionic energy, and so on. For super energy, there are spiritual energy, nuclear energy, void energy, and so on. The higher the energy level, the rarer it is. Among all the students who had successfully awakened, the amount of low-level energy converted was the highest. Middle energy was second, high-level energy could be counted on one hand, and super energy could only depend on luck. At the same time, inside the monitor room, the teachers were doing the final statistics. The awakening of the planet was only the first step. The key was to give birth to life on the planet. The first step for many people went smoothly. However, the problem was step 2. Number 1 awakened successfully. The final diameter of the planet is 11 kilometers. Number 2 awakened successfully. The final diameter of the planet is 12.6 kilometers. Number 3 failed to awaken. Number 4 failed to awaken. Number 38 awakened successfully. The final diameter of the planet is 23 kilometers. The final results of the students were read out, including those who had awakened successfully and those who had not. The school leader and the teachers at the side looked satisfied. The headmaster nodded slightly and said, "This time, the students' results are not bad. More than half of the students have successfully awakened a planet, especially Lucy and Brian. The diameter of their awakened planets is more than 25 kilometers." Although they couldn't compare to the top students of the other school, 2 top geniuses appeared at once. "With this result, we can also be ranked," the vice principal chimed in. The others nodded in agreement. According to the general rules, those with a diameter of more than 20 kilometers could be called geniuses. Those over 25 kilometers were considered top geniuses, and the probability of producing high-level energy is very high. Those over 30 kilometers were super geniuses. The transformation of high-level energy was almost certain. If nothing unexpected happened, they could successfully build a high-level civilization. There is a high probability that they could convert origin energy into super energy. And over 35 kilometers, it is called a monster. The probability of producing super energy was very high. Forget about Atlanta. Even in the whole province where the city was located, there were very few. In an unknown school like Atlanta City Middle School, 2 top geniuses appeared. It is already the best result in the past 5 years. It was enough to make every people happy. Number 81 awakened successfully. The final planet diameter 35.2 kilometers? At this moment, the teacher's voice suddenly became sharp. The room suddenly fell silent. All of them looked at the teacher strangely. 35.2 kilometers? How is that possible? One had to know that the female student who had a shocking talent previously only awakened a planet with a diameter of 33 kilometers. This also broke the historical record of River City. More than 35 kilometers, that was considered a monster. Are you sure? The principal stared at the teacher, who announced the results, and his tone suddenly became nervous. "Principal, see for yourself." The teacher who announced the results pointed at the screen in front of him. On the big screen, Sebastian's awakening result was very large, there was no doubt. One by one, the school leaders and teachers thought they felt that it was inconceivable and absurd. They weren't a first-rate school, but there was a genius student who broke the record. "It is 35.2. Our school produced a genius with a diameter of more than 35 kilometers. Which class is this Sebastian from? He's hiding something. It seems to be Class 2. Class 2's results are pretty good." Listening to everyone's discussion, The principal waved his hand and said in a loud and clear voice, "Let's not talk about it for now," and quickly announced the final results. "The principal is right. I'll do it now." The vice principal personally ran to take charge. They had been silent for so many years that it wasn't easy to produce such a shocking result. Naturally, they had to publicize it.